In this video, I'm gonna show you how to use the letter builder and how to implement that into your designs. So first off, I'm gonna start off with this quote, create something today, of course, because that's my favorite quote. Today, even if it's only for 5 minutes. As soon as you've drawn that up, what I usually do is I actually draw out the outlines to give me a little context of how I need to place my grids. But what we're focusing on here is actually the letter builder and how you can implement that into your designs. We've done all the work beforehand, so we've built the whole grid system, and that will help us to place the letter builders perfectly. This is just an overlay that will help you in the next step. So if you go back on the brush library and you look up, you'll see 6 different letter builders. There's the condensed, regular, and bold, and all of them come also in italics. What is beautiful about that is actually that you can select the style you want. So in this design, we'll have a mix of bold and some regular fonts. And for the first word, the today, we want to make it big, we want to make it bold. So select this one, and then you start actually drawing on it like you would with any brush. You might have to adjust the size. And then for today, in this case, we have 5 letters, so I'll be drawing 1, slowly 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll hold down to keep that all lined up, and you see you can move your pencil around and see how the spacing will vary. I'm gonna choose a little bit of a narrow space, so leave less space between the letters and condense it a little. As soon as you've done that, move them and scale them to the size you want them to be. As you can see already, this shape, it is a bow tie shape. And for this one, we kind of need to make some adjustments. So for these adjustments, the easiest way is to actually go into the cursor, and when you tap on the cursor, you'll have the selection, and you have new options below. So Procreate makes this really easy, and you can tap on Warp. And what this will do will actually give you the possibility to move edges and pieces of the whole word. So I'll always start with the ends of the word and try to move them out, and you see it curves down. So this will be a little bit tougher than I thought it would be, and I'll move these around till I get it right, always trying to keep those lines straight. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Think of how the letter is built, and then just follow those lines, inline, outlines. Then you can fill it up with some color. You go ahead, do that for every letter. And finally, always at the end of every word, I like to do some light adjustments. But this is actually achieved really easily by selecting the individual letter you want to change, to move around. Then with that, you select that letter, you select that with the selection tool, you crop it around, and you can use your fingers. Now you can use taps of fingers, left, right, up, down, and on the corners to slightly move them inch by inch. Well, actually, it's more like a pixel by pixel. So what I would recommend you to do here is really test it out. Test it out. What does it look like if it's more to the left, more to the right? And you'll see every letter will have a beautiful balance between the letter that comes before and comes after that single one. The next option is just a simple word. So even, we're gonna use a regular size letter builder, and we're gonna draw out those 4 letters, so 4 shapes of the letter builder, and we're gonna space them also really a little bit condensed, like condense that word, and just drawing out those outlines. And you can always put in your own style of letter. You can add serifs, you can add some distortions, you can add some movement, whatever it is. You can just add it, and just to remind yourself, you can repeat that in every letter, and that will help you to get that consistency over all those letters. Now there's one more piece that will be a little bit tricky, and that's the arc. But there are some quick and dirty tips on how to make that easy. And then we're gonna draw 1 letter at a time. Now, keep in mind, you can select that one, you can move it around, and you can place it in the arc. Now, the hard part here is actually to get the angle right. What I do in these moments is actually I go back into the drawing guide, and you can tap on perspective. As soon as you've selected perspective, you tap on the screen and a circle will appear with all these lines going everywhere, like a burst of sunrise. Now you can place that and make sure that it aligns well with the arc that you're drawing on, And then these lines will actually be a really perfect guide for you to draw each individual letter and place them in the right angle. And then what we'll do is actually place each single letter, and when we have half of it done, super easy trick is actually to reflect the other part and then just adjust both sides just to get this spacing right. Drawing the letter is the easiest part of that because we've made it easy for you. So you just have to finish that letter and keep going, and do that for the rest of the words. Create different styles, play around with serifs, with the endings, with sans serifs, like make it bold, make it extra bold, like play around with the contrast, whatever you feel like works for you, do it and try it. Create something today, even if it sucks, and even if you only have 5 minutes, because this piece here, you can actually do it in 5 minutes if you work pretty fast with the letter builders. Done, and I hope you're having fun with that. Play around, move them around, use the warp tool to place them into your grids or into your shapes that you want to draw in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Super easy, quick, easy tutorial. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching.